Hey, what's up guys? It's Online Money 24/7 and today we're going to be going through a Facebook ads tutorial showing you secrets that no one else tells you that generate over $100,000 a month for Shopify dropshipping. So the possibilities are endless with Facebook ads. Today we're going to be going through the exact targeting that you want to set up, how to set up your Facebook ads, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is hop over to business.facebook.com and then come over to the ads manager. So the ads manager, I'm not going to be showing you exactly how to set up an account because it's pretty straightforward, but once you have your account on business.facebook.com, you make that, you set it all up, then you come over to the ads manager, which you just select up here in the top left. As you can see, it says ads manager. Now you are on the create a campaign section. So explaining what all three of these things mean, the campaign objective is essentially what are you trying to obtain with your ad? What is the goal of your ad? Okay, are you trying to have the awareness as your marketing objective? Is it consideration, conversion? What are we going to be doing for our Shopify dropshipping products? What kind of thing are we going to be selecting? So for the campaign objective, what I would highly recommend you guys to do is to select engagement ads, because these are the ones that get people engaging, gets people sharing, gets a lot of attention, and can get you a good amount of sales as well, because you're having a lot of people tag other people on it. It's getting a lot of social proof that can get a lot of traffic to your website. So that's probably the best thing to start out with on Facebook. That's what I highly recommend you guys do. So we're going to go ahead and select engagement. Now, going through exactly what the ad set and ad means as well. The ad set is what we're going to be doing for our targeting, the audience that we're looking for, the type of placements, the budget, the schedule, all that kind of stuff is within the ad set section. That's going to be the next part after we hit continue. That is going to be, selecting who are we targeting for our ad, what type of people are we going to be showing this ad in front of to get sales with, right? And then the ad right here is the actual ad creative, what we're going to be making. Now, I already have an ad made that I will be showing you guys as an example for today for the Facebook ad that we are setting up here. But, you could set up any kind of creative here. This is where you set up the post and all that kind of stuff for the engagement. Like, what is the post that people are going to be seeing, whether it's a photo, a video, all that kind of stuff. That's where you select it here. So that's essentially where you pick the campaign objective here. Then the ad set with the audience and targeting, and then the ad with the actual ad itself, the creative, the photo or video. So we're going to go ahead and name this example because you can name this whatever. I definitely recommend you don't just leave it as engagement, because it's going to get lost in all the ads that you run. So make sure you name it something that you can easily identify what it is. We're going to be leaving this on post engagement because that's what we're after for this for our Shopify dropshipping products. So we're going to go ahead and leave everything else and hit continue. So now we are going into the most detailed part here, which is creating the audience that we're going to be targeting. This is probably the most difficult thing a lot of people struggle with, is figuring out what should their targeting be, right? How do I target my ads and get sales? So there's a lot of different factors in here on the audiences section that we need to be selecting and choosing in order to get the best type of people seeing our ads. So the first thing, we're just going to do this step by step here. We're going to want to select people that are only living in this location, because when you think about people that are coming to the United States, okay, right? There's a lot of people that are traveling from other countries, whether they're going to theme parks, they're going to other cities, they're traveling. Typically, those kind of people aren't going to be buying stuff on their phone when they're visiting a country, or maybe they're in a different state or something like that, because they're not going to order stuff when they're not home. So what I would suggest under the location section is, instead of everybody, is to actually select who live in this location, because that's the kind of people we're after. Obviously, depending on what type of ad you're running, maybe you're another type of business, you might want to select traveling. Maybe you're trying to sell them airplane tickets or something like that. I don't know. But for Shopify dropshipping, ordering like physical products for people that are passionate and all that kind of stuff, we want to select people who live there, because that's the type of people that we're after for these type of products. So next, under this is just pretty much what you want to select on every ad that you set up as well, is for the languages. Now, obviously, if you're a Spanish store, if you're a German store, if you're a whatever kind of language your store is under, select that language, because if you have a Spanish person seeing your ad and commenting in Spanish and stuff like that, they're not going to understand your store if it's in English, okay? Depending on what other country you're from and what type of language you have your store set up in, you want to make sure that that is congruent with your ad, because you want people that will understand what you're putting in front of them, right? So for this, we're going to be selecting English. So we're going to select all because, you know, UK English and US English are very, very similar. So we're just going to be selecting all here for all English because that is what the store is under for the example. Now, obviously, like I said, select whatever your store's languages, because when people see the ad, then they go to your store, it needs to be in the same language so that it makes sense for them, obviously. Otherwise, they're going to be like, oh, I don't understand this language, and then scroll past your ad, never buy anything, okay? So that's something you definitely also want to set up, as well as people that live in the location. And I highly recommend selling to US just because there's so many people in the United States. You could sell to other countries as well. That's more so just up to you. Now, the rest of the targeting more so comes down to the specific product that you're selling. These kind of things you can set up. Obviously, it still is selected based on the type of product you're selling, but when we select detailed targeting, that's going to be more so what is the niche that we're selecting. So the example for today that we're going to be selling, which I'll have a picture pop up on screen so you can see what the product actually looks like, it is a French Bulldog phone case. So that's the example we're using for today. That's the type of targeting that I'm going to be showing you how to do. Now, some of this targeting can also be beneficial, like the skill set from it for any niche. You know, I'm just using that niche, the French Bulldog niche, the phone case, as an example. You could utilize this skill set, what I'm teaching you today, for any niche. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just like you select pages, and, you know, I'll show you step by step here what type of demographics targeting we're going to be doing and what else to select. But, you know, you can use it for any niche. So let's go ahead and search for French Bulldog. Now, because it is a phone case, it could just be French Bulldog fans as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who is a French Bulldog owner. And that's great about the phone case market for really any niche as well, especially with dogs, because, you know, typically some dogs are kind of expensive. Some people don't have those dogs. So maybe they're just a fan. Maybe they're just a fan of a German Shepherd. They don't have a German Shepherd, but they could still buy that phone case. So that's something to keep in mind there. So French Bulldog, that's an interest right there that we're going to be targeting. And I'll get more into the amount of potential reach that we want to select, but you generally want to have it around 250,000 to about 500,000, or maybe even close to 1 million people. But you don't want to have, you know, you want to have like under 1 million people for when you set up your targeting, because if you have too many people, it's going to be too broad, and you're not going to be, you know, you want to narrow it down. You don't want to be too broad on your targeting. Otherwise, you're going to hit people that aren't as likely to buy your product. So before we go more into the interests here and how to do your targeting and all that kind of stuff, I do want to make sure that you guys are unchecking this box here with expand interest, because you want to make sure that you don't expand these interests, because it expands it into more broad niches, which is definitely not what you want. So if we were to check it, as you can see, massive amount of people there, we want to make sure that we uncheck it so that it gets more broad and narrow, because if Facebook automatically does that, you're not going to be hitting as specific of people. So uncheck this box. Whatever you do, uncheck it, okay? You want to do that. Now, underneath the additional interests, we are going to be putting in some more French Bulldog stuff as well. So we can see if there's maybe some French Bulldog pages. So the way we could actually do this is just click suggestions. So as you can see, there's a lot of different French Bulldog pages here that are related as well. So if we look at Manny the Frenchie, that's a very popular influencer within the French Bulldog niche. There's also the French Bulldog Rescue Network. So as you can see, there's a couple of different things. Frenchie as well, that is another term that people use to describe the French Bulldog breed as well. So we're going to go ahead and stick to these more specific ones, because as it branches down here, it gets in a pug, just general Bulldog, Dachshund, and German Shepherd. These are more like any type of breed, so not as specific here. But if we select Manny the Frenchie, or if we select, you know, the French Bulldog Rescue Network, all these kind of things, people that are very passionate about it, okay, that means that these people are all within this interest and they're more passionate, right? So they're going to potentially buy something from you because they care about French Bulldogs. Obviously, they care about Manny the Frenchie, French Bulldog Rescue Network, the French Bulldog as a whole right there. So we're not going to stop here, though. This is just one of the selections. This is where you select the general niche that you're targeting. So obviously, it's a French Bulldog phone case. We're going to be targeting people that are after French Bulldogs. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is then narrow it down as well to engaged shoppers, because engaged shoppers are people that are more interested in actually buying. That means, as you can see, if we read this description here, people who have clicked on the call to action button shop now in the past week. So that means these are people that are more likely to buy from you from your store because they're engaged shoppers, all right? They're buying online a lot more than other people, so you want to make sure that you're targeting those people that have more of an interest in buying. Another thing you could even target is credit card users, okay? People that have high credit limits, stuff like that as well. You could also select, so maybe active credit card user or premium credit cards. You could do something like that too, so maybe a premium credit card user, someone that has the, higher credit limits. That's something that you could select as well, because that means that they are going to be buying a lot more online if they have that higher credit limit. It's not the greatest thing ever, maybe not the most ethical thing, but if you want to make sales, those are the people, add fuel to the fire right there. So the next thing we're going to do, we're also going to be selecting some more stuff here, but I want to make sure that you guys are also considering the product that you're selling. So when we go into the actual placements, because this is a phone case, we want to make sure that we are just selecting mobile in general, because if we are selecting desktop, people that are on mobile are obviously using a mobile phone to view this, so they have a phone that they could use with it. As well as another thing, because this phone is an iPhone case, we don't want to set this in front of Android users, so we're going to be just setting this in front of iOS users. And instead of iPods and iPads, we're going to be just selecting iPhones. So you can see really how specific you can actually get with these ad targeting to who you really, really want to see your ad. Now, another thing as well, only when connected to Wi-Fi, also want to select that, because if people are out on the go, they're, eating somewhere out, they might not necessarily, most people that are out, they're not on a Wi-Fi network. You don't want any buffering or something like that if you are doing a video ad as well. People that are connected to Wi-Fi are more so in their house, at home, they have their credit card ready to go. They're more willing to purchase from you if they're chilling and just looking at stuff on social media. That's the type of audience that you want to be targeting. So if we go up here, we're going to be going over more other placements as well in a second here. But another thing that we could also add as well is to exclude people that are into buying on eBay, because this is something I find a lot of cheap people will comment, oh, this product's on eBay, or oh, this product's on AliExpress. Like, we want to block all the people that are into AliExpress, eBay, maybe even block people that are into Shopify. We don't want other Shopify store owners seeing our stuff, okay? Because that is not going to get us sales, all right? These people already know where we're getting these products from. We don't want those kind of people seeing this ad. Maybe they're into all this other stuff. We don't want people that are into that. We could also block DHgate, which is another website that you can order from online and buy stuff for really cheap from China. So we want to exclude all those kind of people that might comment like, oh, I know where this is from. Another one is wish.com. Not sure if that one's going to pop up. It might. Wish.com. Yeah, no, that one doesn't come up. I remember I saw a lot of comments on some of my ads of people saying, oh, I saw this on Wish.com for $3. It's like, oh, thanks. So you don't want any of these people that are interested in all of these cheap websites or even trying to sell Shopify products themselves, okay? So we don't want those people. We want those people excluded. So as you can see, we're getting this narrowed down a bit. Now, I would recommend probably narrowing it down a little more, maybe even as well. You could narrow it further into, French Bulldogs, maybe the French Bulldog Rescue Network. That one we might be able to narrow it down here again. Yeah, see, that one's a little too small. See, we don't want to go too narrowed down with only 43,000 people. So we're going to deselect that as well. So 2.2 million, actually not too bad. We want to stick around, like I said, around 250,000 at least, maybe even at least 500,000 to around 2 million. So around 2 million of 1 million range. That's still pretty good, I would say. Now, if you really wanted to get nitpicky with it, you could get in here and really play around with more and more targeting. Depending on the niche, it's going to be easier to narrow this number down. It's kind of hard here with all these different pages. Maybe we delete one of these big ones here, maybe the Manny the Frenchie one. Maybe that'll narrow it down. Nah, not so much. So it's going to be kind of difficult to really narrow everything down exactly, but if you can get it down to around like 1 to 2 million, that's probably going to be good enough for you, especially with the engaged shoppers, as well as excluding people from AliExpress, eBay, Shopify as well. So then the next thing that we're going to want to do is come down here, and like I said, you can play around with this as much as you want, play around with different targeting as well. Just keep in mind when you're doing this, you can exclude people and narrow further. Those are the two options. So we're excluding these people that match at least one of the following, and we're narrowing further by people that include and match at least one of these and also match at least one of these. So you can narrow it further, select different types of targeting, but we're just going to be sticking with that for the example today because that is still pretty good potential reach there. So the next thing we're going to do is edit the placements. Now, from my testing personally, I would not recommend putting ads on any of these other things. You want to uncheck everything. Okay, uncheck all these placements and just have feeds selected. We just want Facebook feeds. That is the most converting place that you can get people on Facebook, the Facebook feeds. That is where you're going to be targeting people. Okay, because if you put it on Instagram, people just don't really buy on Instagram that much. I see a lot of people just like it and scroll through because that's what people's behaviors are on Instagram. With Facebook, they're a little bit more willing to check it out. Maybe they tap on it, they look at it. People are just more willing to buy off of Facebook. From my own personal testing, from my friends' testing, that is what converts and what sells. So stick to that only. Like I said down here with the specific mobile device, if you're selling a phone case, make sure it's targeting the device that you have in the ad. Because if you're targeting Android, if it's an Android phone case, only target Android people. If it's an iOS one, only target iOS users, iPhone users specifically, okay? So that's what you got to keep in mind there. Now, down to the daily budget section, this is where you can kind of play around with it a little bit more. I'd recommend doing at least $3, okay? You don't want to really go under $3 a day. You can go $5. I've tested that. That works pretty good to get some good testing. If you really want to blast it out of the water, you could open with $10, but I know a lot of you guys are beginners. You probably don't want to be blowing $10 a day on this, so I would recommend just starting out with $5 a day. It's a good way to test and see if your product actually converts with your audience that you selected on here with your targeting and stuff like that. There's a lot of different people that you can hit with that, a lot of passionate people. So even with $5 a day, you're still going to be able to get that in front of a lot of people. You're going to want to also then run the ad set continuously. And you can also get the Facebook ads phone app as well, so you can monitor that on your phone to see your ad spend. I would definitely recommend downloading that app so you can end advertisements whenever you want. It's a lot easier than having to go into the ads manager on your computer. Just a little tip there. And then on the ad delivery, want to keep that on post engagement. Just keep all the rest of this default. That is perfectly fine to keep the rest of the budgeting and scheduling and all of that kind of stuff. Now, going back through here, you got to make sure everything is all nice and good. So that's pretty much all set there. Now, another thing I didn't really go over is your age demographics and gender. So depending on the type of niche that you're selling in, the type of product, this type of product, there could be men that are interested in this, probably more women that are interested in this type of product. So we may want to just select that. Now, as you can see, as we narrowed it down to Facebook feeds, that actually brought this number down to 600,000, which is right around what I said was perfect. 500,000 to a million, 600,000 is very selected, very niche down. So that's perfect. And so, this type of product, mostly women are going to be interested in this, maybe not so much men. You can kind of target your products. Maybe if you're doing a fishing product, maybe more men would be interested in that. You just have to test and play around with it. Same with the age ranges. If you're selling a product that is something that only people over 21 might be using, you probably want to select the age demographic and select 21 to 65 plus. You don't want people that aren't able to use your product or people that wouldn't be interested in it in your demographics. So make sure you're keeping that in mind as well on your age and gender. You want to specify your ads as specific as possible to the product that you are selling, because you want to find the people that are going to be most interested in buying your products, ultimately at the end of the day, to get those conversions. So this is all pretty much perfectly set up now. So we're going to go ahead and continue into the next section here, which is the ad creative section. So I already made an ad. I'm going to open that up in a second here and show you what I did. Alright guys, so once you have your picture made and your post made, this is what is going to look like. Now, I'm going to go through exactly why I selected a certain type of ad copy, as well as how I set up this picture here. So all we have to do to set this all up is click on the Create New Page Post. Because this is a PPE ad, this is also going to be a page post on your Facebook page. So as you can see, I have it set up for my page Frenchie Life. As you can see, it is a French Bulldog post here, available for all iPhones. Now, it's important to explain things on your post if it is relevant to the product that you're selling. Say, for example, you know, as you can see, someone pops up, they see this post, this ad here, and they see, oh, it's for an iPhone X. Oh man, it's not for my iPhone. Well, it's like, no, it's available for all iPhones. So a lot of people may think, if you didn't have that there, that this is only available for iPhone X's and not available for iPhone 7, iPhone 8, iPhone 6, any other iPhone that they have. You know, so it's important to explain that to people depending on the product that you're selling, to show them that, yeah, it's still relevant for you as well. Now, in terms of setting up your ad copy, I would recommend you guys to do a 3-line thing, because it stays above the fold and people will see it without having to click see more on your ad, which is important because you want them to be able to see the link to be able to actually buy it from you. Because believe it or not, a lot of people will comment, hey, where can I buy this from? Because people just see the picture and they're like, oh, this is cute, this is awesome. Where do I actually buy it from? A lot of the time it's ridiculous, and it's like, yo, just read the ad. It's like right up at the top. But, you know, a lot of people still don't even recognize that. So that's why it's important to make it obvious here with, like, grab yours. I would recommend you guys use a Google shorten link, which you just go to goo.gl.com, or goo.gl, and that's the website. And you can go and shorten Google links, so you can go ahead and use that as a URL shortener. Because on mobile, it makes it easier for people to click on, for people to see. It also doesn't take up all the ad space to have one giant like URL here for your website. So I recommend shortening the URL there. Add the title of the product here, like Premium Frenchie iPhone Case. Grab yours, and then you could even do like a 50% off thing if you're going to be offering it like that as a flash sale. You could do whatever you want to do for that. Just say some sort of promotion to get people's attention, so they're like, hey, yo, it's on sale, let me get this now before it runs out, or something like that. You could do something like that. Definitely recommend using emojis. You can use any kind of emoji you want. If you're looking for a website to find emojis, I would recommend using Emojipedia, because that allows you to utilize any kind of emoji that you want. So you maybe just go on here and search for dog. It's going to come up with the dog emoji, dog face as well. So this is where you can easily copy and paste emojis to put on your post, because if you're creating this on a computer, obviously you're not creating it where you have the access to just type emojis. So you just go to the Emojipedia website and you can easily copy and paste these so that on your ads, they actually have emojis that catch people's attention, because it's colorful, it's vibrant, it's what people like to see on their phones, because people are used to using emojis. So I definitely recommend that. Then in terms of conversion tracking, I also recommend that you guys have your Pixel hooked up, which I don't actually have a video going over how to do your Pixel. If you guys are interested in that, leave a comment below. But you want to set up your Pixel. It's pretty easy to do. All you do is paste the code into your Shopify store. If you already have it set up, definitely recommend that you track your conversions with this ad on there with your Pixel. So keep that on as well. And then on your call to action button, which you could also add on PPE ads now, I recommend that you select Shop Now, and then just put your website URL in there, and you can update the post so that it then also has a Shop Now down at the bottom, and the web page is like Frenchie Life with pet supplies. So that just adds another way for people to click Shop Now. Definitely recommend doing that on the call to action. And so as you can see, that's pretty much what the ad will look like. Now, if you guys are wondering how I did actually create this ad here, I made this on Photoshop. Now, if you don't have Photoshop, you could also utilize a free website called canva.com. Canva.com is the website. Allows you to create free graphic design stuff like this. Maybe not as good as Photoshop, but it'll still allow you to get started and create different types of ads. Now, if you guys are interested in learning more about Shopify, I do actually have a Shopify Mastery course available now. It'll teach you exactly step by step how to create your Shopify store, how to set up ads, get a store up and running. And I also have a Shopify 14-day free trial. Both are available down in the description box below. If you want to check those out, support the channel, go ahead and do so below. As well as, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what the heck are you doing? Subscribe to the dang channel, hit the notification bell as well so you get notified for future videos, uploads, and all that good stuff. Leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns. But anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.